Hello there folks, it is TIJ again. Welcome back to Conquering the Euro on Football Manager 2021 with OGC Nice. Today, it's time for only part 5 of Season 2. It's been a very strange season and we're already in April 2024, only 8 games to go. So it's been a very short season in terms of the YouTube save. That's just the way it's been. I don't like to do these 5 or 6 part seasons, but it's just been a bit of a flat season, I suppose I could say, which has been really fraught with inconsistency. The last time you guys were with me was for that loss in the 11th round of the Coupe de France, and then a 1-0 win over Montpellier. And we knew before the season started we were only really in 2 competitions, the French Cup and the League. And for a long while now, we've not really been in contention for anything massive in the League. So there's not really been anything that's been essential to bring you guys. So we've got 2 big games today. The first one at home against PSG, that'll be a very tough match. And then away from home against Lyon. And as I said, all that has plagued our season is inconsistency. We went and beat Montpellier in the last episode. You guys saw that. We drew against Stade Brestois, which wasn't the best result, but we did beat Strasbourg 4-2. Mofi getting his hat-trick there. But to be honest, he hasn't kicked on from that. He's got an average rating of 7.02, but he got an 8.4 in that Strasbourg game. So yeah, that very much skews that average rating. And really, I'm looking at plays being an average of 7 over games, because they've been good in all the games, that makes sense, rather than being really good in one game and then not doing much in most others. But to be fair, he's only really been a bench player in most of those games, and annoyingly, we've had absolutely no sun this morning. Now the sun's starting to come through, so sorry if that affects the webcam. We then went and played Dijon, and this was the start of some real bad inconsistency, to be quite honest. We led 1-0 until there were 3 minutes to go, and we were going to walk away with 3 points, which I thought marvellous, great. And then they equalised 87 minutes in, and then they got a 92nd minute winner. And that just killed us. It really did. We went and lost 2-1 to Nantes, which wasn't the biggest surprise in the world. They're a decent side. And then by far the worst game I've had on FM21 so far was a 5-0 defeat. It was almost like the Liverpool-Villa game, wasn't it? The 7-2. It was so out of... just so unexpected. Completely unexpected. 5-0 defeat against the bottom side in the league. They were brilliant. And we were absolutely terrible, and it was really concerning. So we made sure we got the goal difference back in the next match against FC Metz. Again, you would have expected us to have beaten Dijon, probably a point against Nantes, possibly a win against Nimes, definitely, and then a win against Metz. And luckily we got a win against Metz. It was 6-3, and this man deserves a knighthood. Not quite, but he's been brilliant. Deji Satona, we talked about him in the last episode, how he's been doing really well. And in this match, he scored 5 goals for Deji Satona. He was absolutely lethal. We were 2-0 up before half-time, so it was fairly pretty much done. And then Deji Satona scored 4 in the space of 12 minutes. And that just finished it off. Yes, they got some consolation goals. Solly March playing for them. I've just noticed that. Is that Solly March from Brighton? It is Solly March, the Englishman. There's a few English players in the French league. It's interesting to see. But they scored 3, but it didn't matter. We got the 3 points. And then we followed that up with some brilliant play against Lille. It was a tough match, this, but we won that one 3-2. We took an early lead with Deji Satona again. We were 2-0 up 19 minutes in. And then they brought it back to 2 each. And I thought, oh, here we go again. But as you can see, 27 shots, 14 on target. Our attacking is really impressive. And honestly, I think it's down to that front too, especially to Satona, really. But it was the most unlikely of players who got us the winner, and that was Gravelon. And I think you can see that it was our back line, really, that won us the game. Nazoki, Trusticon, Gravelon and Latomba, all with good ratings. And then, unfortunately, our form, we were starting to get some good form. 2 wins on the bounce. Unfortunately, that was broken with a match against Stade Rennais where we lost 2-1. So we've been very inconsistent. We've got 8 games after the season. And to be honest, all is not lost. We're not going to finish in the top 3. We know that. But 5th, I would say, maybe even 4th, if we put a very good run of forms together, is possible. We're 4 points away from Lille because we beat them. Again, if we'd have beat Stade Rennais, we'd have been 1 point behind them. But this season's been full of ifs, hasn't it? Which is never the right way to look at it. We are where we are, ultimately. We're 4 points behind Lille. That gives us 5th place, an automatic qualification for the Conference League. That's the Europa Conference League. If we finish 6th, we've got a chance. So I'd love to finish 5th. Obviously, the next few games against Paris Saint Germain and Lyon are really damage limitation, but we've not had a bad record against PSG. Ignore these games here. These are the ones we took charge of. So we beat them 5-1 last year. and we narrowly lost 1-0 in the league this year. And then against Lyon, again I think we've only played once against them actually, and we beat them. So we're not on a bad run at all against Lyon. Just a bit of transfer news. We obviously sold centre back. Where is he? Robson Bamboo. You guys knew about that. And we bought in Jorge Fernandez. We also bought in this chap, right back and centre back. Actually, it was to replace Diego Dallo, wasn't it? Gratrida came in. I can't remember if I covered this or not. I feel like he came in maybe a day or two after the last episode. But unfortunately, because he came in on the 6th of Feb and the registration window closed on the 4th, we can't register him for the rest of the year, which is a real bummer. But he's coming from Feyenoord, $5.5 million. We talked about him in the last episode. Looks like a good player. We've put him in the second team. He's not really... Actually, he has. He's played a few games for the second team. And he's got an average rating of 7.5. So I'll take that. Obviously, this league is a big jump up, but 23 years of age, again, another good player. But let's get into this game, shall we, against PSG. So it's the usual side playing, really, what we've come to expect. We've got Bernardoni in the sticks, Latomba, because of that right-back replacement, we need to play him there. Gravelon, Fernandez and Matthias Reis. And Jorge Fernandez has done brilliantly since he's come into the club. A solid player, valued at 13 million. We bought him in for 4. His average rating doesn't look that special, but he's definitely shored up the back line. Malero and Chalobah in the midfield, with Ndai and Dahlberg on the wings. It seems that ever since he had that red card, Sakaria's gone a little bit flat, unfortunately. And then obviously the front two is Satona and Crivelli. Poor Moffy can't get a look in. I mean, he only got a hat-trick a few games ago, but we can't replace Satona, and Crivelli's playing well as well. So I think what we are going to do for this match, just to make sure we've got things shored up at the back a little bit more than we're used to, I'm going to keep the lineup the same, but I'll show you what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to bring Crivelli down to attacking midfielder and have Satona up there by himself. But because Crivelli's better on the left, we'll put Dahlberg as an attacking midfielder and work it a little bit like that, just to make sure we haven't got that much of a problem. It doesn't make much of a difference, but we'll see. PSG, yeah, let's do the whole week. Let's try and raise to our level, to their level. Ultimately, as I said before, we are where we are. You know, we can't really do a hell of a lot. All we can do is try and win the remaining matches. You know, it's a very common phrase in life, isn't it? You can't change the past. However, you can change what happens in the future. But it's really just down to how we play today. Ultimately, I guess, it's if PSG turn up. And that's a very short-sighted view of this match, I suppose you could say. But it's right, I suppose. It's all about whether they turn up. They are the form side in the league. They're the best side in France, there's no doubt about it. But they're not going to win the league at a canter this year. They're about 10 points clear. So it's not like previous years where they won it at an absolute counter, but a strange shot there from Crivelli. A few players you might recognise outside of the usual PSG squad. Our former player Ruben Neves for the Wolves is there. We've got Jordan Henderson playing for them. So some interesting signings they've made. I don't quite know what to make of the Henderson one, but for free, he's a very good sign. I'm very jealous of that because he could have definitely done a good job for us, absolutely, in that midfield. But cracking signing for PSG. Crivelli puts the ball out. Not really doing too much here, I have to say. I don't know whether the Liverpool jumper's going to jinx me. I don't know. Hopefully not. Ruben Neves out to Bernardo Silva. I feel like it's going to be a goal here, isn't it? Dodo into the box for Erling Haaland, rather. I mean, he's got 32 goals this year. Yeah. You can't really expect that you're going to keep him out. A good finish there. Good header. We've had 39% of possession, which is very unlike us. We tend to dominate possession. That really helps us to get a lot of shots and just keep attack until it works out. And I think that's probably why we're a bit frail in defence, possibly. But it works most of the time. But against a side like this, we might struggle. I guess we could have gone counter-attacking from the start. I don't know. And tried to keep them out a little bit like early in the year. But we've gone counter-attacking now. I don't think it's going to work. I think we're going to struggle to get a result here against PSG, particularly if it goes 2-0 there. But that's an awful header from Erling Haaland. But yeah, a bit of a drab game so far. Not the most exciting, I have to say. But we've got a few minutes to go, and ultimately we are still in the game. I'm happy with that. We're 1-0 down. Ultimately, I guess we've got nothing to lose, so we might as well put our usual players where they go. You know, we might as well just play how we usually do, because we're already behind. It's not really going to make that much of a difference. I don't know if I gave a team talk to the lads at half time actually, but can't remember. Well, we'll see what happens in this highlight ultimately. I would guess that PSG will go and score because we're playing more up the field, we're more attacking, more aggressive. So that's not going to help us from a defensive standpoint. But ultimately, you've got to be in it to win it. There's no good against PSG, particularly if you're already 1 goal down, playing like a Burnley. But that's not going to help us if Matthias Reis gives away a penalty. I mean, we're trying to keep it quite nicely tucked at the back. And if we do give away a penalty here, which we don't, whew, thank God for that. VAR sides with us. Breathe a sigh of relief. Well, if it just wasn't a penalty, then it wasn't a penalty. Again, we're 1-0 down. We've got a chance here. We're just not getting as many shots away as we used to. And the worrying thing is that any highlight we've seen is a PSG attack. And that's a worry. But, oh, I up. Malero into the box. Never mind. Unai Simon on the ball. Puts it to Kimpembe. Can we get something out of this? Paredes just put the players under pressure. It's going to be a PSG chance, this. But no, Latomba. Oh, that's a poor ball, that is, really. Should have done a bit more than that. Haaland, Ruben Neves. We know how good Neves is. Don't even want to try and pronounce who he is. He shoots. Good save from Bernardoni. I think the problem is we've got the likes of Latomba. Oh, no, he's on fullback automatic. Again, I'm surprised at that. We usually put him on a no-nonsense fullback. That's why I thought he hoofed the ball forward there. But I think it's substitution time. Kasper Dolberg's a bit knackered, so I'll bring my leader on for him. And I'm going to bring Malero off for Mokaina. Just really changing the personnel. We've sort of got 17, 18 players in around the squad. And, you know, even though we've not had the most exciting of seasons, it's not like in England. And it's a very rare one where, I suppose a lot of clubs put up with this generally, where it's just 4 or 5 games each month. There's not any peak months. We're generally playing only once a week. So if we keep the rotation in and avoid injuries, then we should be okay. Obviously, Florian Koeman's been out for a while, so that's been a bit of a problem for us. But he might be back before the end of the year. I mean, Matthias Reis, what are you doing? I mean, that's definitely a penalty this time. He's nearly given away 2. And, well, yeah, they're going to give the penalty on balance this time. I'm not happy with that. I don't mind conceding the odd foul, but to give away effectively what's 2 penalties is disgusting. And it's now 2-0 to PSG. And what Matthias Reis is there, whether it was intentional, whether it was a mistimed tackle, you don't know. But yeah, that's really poor. It really is. And I think it's going to be a defeat. We can't do a lot about that. Now. I guess we bring Mofi on for a run around, bring Crivelli off, and just go attacking, try and do something. But I guess I'll put no pressure rather than demand more. It might help us out, I suppose, but we weren't particularly expecting anything out of this match. But there you go, Mofi gets a goal. So this might not be over. Let's shoot on sight, do all the normal things. See how we go. Mofi gets a goal, so he's been on the field for 6 minutes, so we can't really criticise him too much. If he's only going to get 15 or 20 minutes a game, then he ain't going to really do much. But you can't take Satona out the side. He had his first cap for Ireland as well a few weeks ago and scored for them. So it's been a great month for him. He signed a new contract with us as well, because on that form, you've just got to play him, haven't you? And he wanted a new contract, so there, and he's played really well. He'd only been on £20,000 a week, so he's not going to put that much of a dent in the finances. Let's see if we can get a late equaliser. It'd be lovely if we could. I mean, my leader with a shocking shot there. He should have just, you know, we've got the ball in their end of the pitch. We should have just done something a bit more with that. Been a bit more patient, but I guess with shoot on sight enabled, it's you know, a bit hypocritical to say that. But it was just a consolation goal in the end. We don't get anything out of PSG. Matthias Reis isn't going to be in the team for the next match. You know, he's just not good enough there. But all the other teams have now got a game in hand. This was played on Friday night. We've got the Saturday fixtures coming up. The one to focus on, I'd say, well, I guess Nantes and Lille. Nantes have actually creeped above us now with a game in hand. So Nantes have got Stade Bretois. Lille have got Lorient. You'd expect both of them to win, but I guess you just never know. But we'll be back next week with the game against Lyon. It's away from home. We really could do with at least a point to keep our push for Europa League football going. So just the one change for this match, as expected. Matthias Reis drops the bench. We have got Ristic, who goes in for him, and he's actually the captain. So there we go. We started at 9 o'clock tonight. We're going to pump this, say, yep, let's end that recent run of form and just get on with it, see how we go. 4th place is too far away now. Marseille won their last game. There's 12 points now between us. We can drop that to 9, but obviously with 6 games to go after this, it's just not going to happen. We're going to have a tough game against Lyon today. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was just going to show you the tail, but there's an early highlight for Lyon. I mean, again, I suppose we expect to lose here, but that's not the right attitude going in. But, if you concede 2.5 minutes in, it's not great. I suppose on reflection, this might not be the best match to come back and give you because, in both of these games, we're expected to lose. Right, let's pause this. So, Lille are currently losing in their match. For some reason, it doesn't show it, but they were 1-0 down. Nantes have still got to play. So, if we can win this, I think we're on 49 now. That should go down. Obviously, we'll get 52. If Lille lose, then we've got a chance. But Nantes could be the club who surprise everyone and get into that top 5. If we can't get 6th and finish 7th, that'll be a massive disappointment. But on balance, it might not. Again, another season just in the league might help us out. This has very much been a transition season. It's going to be, I would say, based on past experience, probably a 3-year job here, I would say. A good ball to it. I mean, come on in, Dye. Get it on target at least. That's been in Dye's problem. He has plenty of shots, but doesn't threaten the goalkeeper all that much. Our backup goalkeeper, Maxime Dup's out for the next 4 months, which is great, because he collided with Gravelon in training. And we've been given some permission to sign a backup, but we've got plenty of goalkeepers in the youth sides. Julian Draxler gets a goal. You can just see some of the names that are in these top 2 squads that we're not going to compete with them short term. We've had a season to bed in, and we've certainly done a lot better than Nice did last campaign. But it is going to be a 3-season job. I think next year we should have an ambition to get into that top 5 comfortably, sort of being a competitive member of that top 5 or top 6 club, a top 6. What's the group? The group. That's it. The top 6 group, and then I think possibly season 3. It might even be a 4-season job. I don't know, but as I've said, if it doesn't quite go right for us and we have to move, and this is a bit of a leapfrog club in Nice, then so be it, because we might not be able to topple PSG here, but we've done a decent job. We've signed some good players. I mean, Deji Satona, who's come from the youth team, has done a cracking job. He really has. But, we've made some good signings. We've made some shrewd signings. We don't look a bad side. It's just a case of getting up to those top clubs, and we'll do that over time. But we'll say we're not happy with the players. We're 2-1 down, though. It's not too bad. We've just got to fire up the players. If we say you've played really well, then what's the point in that? It's stupid to say that, really, if we are 2-1 down. We want to be winning this match. I mean, we've only had 2 shots so far, which is very rare for us. Just shows the sort of quality in these sides. They've really, really kept us out. 61 minutes in, I'm going to give Satona a rest because, to be fair, Mofi played very well when he came for us. Albeit it was only on for 20 minutes, I get that, but he played very well in the last match. And we'll see how somebody else can get on up there. It's a chance for us now, and Jorge Fernandez very nearly with the equaliser. I'm going to keep us on positive because any time I've gone to the attacking or very attacking mentality, it's never worked out. It never works out for us. Anything more than positive, we seem to just get carved open at the back. 12 minutes to go again. It's been a close one. We've not been completely battered by these teams, but we're going to struggle. We're going to bring Cole Palmer on. He hasn't been in the team for a while because he just hasn't had the match fitness, weirdly enough. He was out for a bit of a niggle, and he's not really built himself back up. So this is his return. We are going to get very attacking because, as I said before, we've got nothing to lose. But wrist-stick into the box to Fernandez, and he's had 2 chances now. Ugh! A few minutes to go here. I think it's going to be another defeat. And that will make it really hard for us to get in the top 5 after that. Yeah, 2 defeats. 2 narrow defeats, albeit. Both of 2 goals to 1, which is a shame. But, yeah, it's frustrating. We'll just see how the other side's got on. See how they got on. Lille won, did they? Oh, no, Lille lost 4-1. Christ. So, even with that, we're 5 points away from Lille. 6 games to go. Nantes have got Strasbourg. I guess it's not all about every game. It's about how you get on in all the matches. And we've had our toughest 2 now. Got a tough run coming up, though. We've got Marseille, Bordeaux, Saint-Etienne are a good side. Angers, Toulouse, and then Monaco. So, it's just one of those leagues. It's very topsy-turvy where we could win every one of those last 6 matches. Or we could lose all of them. I know it's a stupid statement to make, but this is very much like the Championship, I think, where anyone can beat anyone. Obviously, it's got the element of the top 4 or 5 have got more quality than the rest, but you can get those surprises very easily. So for the last episode of the series, which not the series as a whole, the season, tomorrow, we'll come back for the Toulouse and Monaco matches unless something really special happens. But I feel like given the form and where we are on balance, I feel like 7th place is where we're going to finish this year. And just a reminder, Nice finished 11th. Competition did not complete. Does that mean... Yeah, it might have been because it wasn't enabled. I don't know what that competition did not complete means. But they finished 11th last year. So to come back to 7th, yes, it would kind of maybe match that 2019 finish. But we're back in the right trajectory. And I think we are doing well. The board are fairly happy with how we're getting on. Not really surprised with that. It's not amazing. We did have a period in the season where we were doing very well. You'd have seen before the episode that we could have gone for top 4, but we just had too many losses, and it's that whole what-if situation, and there's no point going through that, is there? Because, you know, what's happened is happened. We're not going to finish, at least I don't think, down where we did last year, although it's very tight in mid-table, to be fair. But, yeah, we'll have to see how we get on in the next 4 matches. I'll let you guys know, and I'll be back tomorrow at 6 PM for the final episode of the season. Thank you for watching, though. I've been TIJ Gaming. Leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment as well, and subscribe for regular Football Manager 2021 content. You will notice we have moved down to 4 videos a week now on a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and a Sunday at 6 PM to get the snooker content in on the alternate days. But thank you for watching. I've been TIJ Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.